inspector who went back into the office after the tragedy took place, called me up and spoke to me for about 20 minutes. Apparently what happened, a client of ours, a former client, the reason I say former is he had not, from what I understand, he had not traded since approximately April. So what I want to do is dispel the fact that we had a bad market today and the guy just lost his mind and went berserk. That was not the situation. Apparently what happened was he came in, he had to speak to the he went to speak to the office manager about an issue. I'm not sure what that issue was right now. Apparently he also told me that he had been there a couple of days earlier and had spoke to him about something. He came back today. On his way in, he said he greeted most of the people, as he usually did, and apparently what happened was he went in to speak to the office manager again. Approximately 5 minutes went by, and he heard several shots. He said the door went flying open, and he ran through the office with a gun in each hand and started firing on whoever was there.
Now, he was firing indiscriminately within the office itself?
That's what he told me. Once again, what I'm saying now is I'm repeating what one of my clients told me. I was not there, so I can only repeat what was told to me. He went and he fired basically indiscriminately, and but he was aiming for people. I mean, he was looking to do damage.
Who did he shoot?
I don't know. I did not. I do not know. I know the office manager. He told me the office. There are two office managers in that office, and both of them were injured. I don't know the condition. I don't know. And the assistant or the secretary there, she was shot also. They were the first two. Two were shot apparently first, and then he went on into the main office. And then, what I understand, he went into the street and continued out in the street. This is a fairly large office complex.
How many people work in the complex?
Well, most of the, there are only a few employees. Most of the people who are there are people who trade for their own accounts, people who, buy and sell securities on a regular basis. But that office, if I remember correctly, probably holds in the vicinity of 30 to 40, perhaps more now.
Has this person been identified?
From what I understand, I was told the name came out. I understand the name is Mark Barton.
Had your relationship with this client ended badly?
No, apparently it ended badly. We at this office here in Montville, at the corporate office, because we have 25 of these offices, we had no knowledge of any significant problem.
How long had this person been a client?
From what once again, on a quick perusal, because this all happened in the last couple of hours, he had been trading approximately a year, but he had not traded for approximately the last 3 months. So once again, this was not, I hear some of the press already saying, oh, the market was down 250 points today, and we had a man who basically, lost it at the trade. No, that was not, he was not trading at the time. He had not traded with us, like I say, for several.
Did he have big losses when he was trading?
Oh, he might have. I don't know. We have not evaluated that yet, but as a trader, traders make and lose, and,
Did you have any inkling at all that this person was disgruntled in any way with the handling by people in the office?
I had no knowledge of him being disgruntled. If anyone would have had knowledge, he probably would have been at the local branch where they would have, he would have expressed his displeasure or whatever. But as far as I know, it never got to the corporate office.
What is your own personal reaction to this tragedy?
It's hard for me to even accept what happened, because my emotions are so up in the air right now. I don't even. How do you deal with this? This is, it's a tragedy of tragedies. I understand. They just told me upstairs 9 people have been dead. This is, it's beyond comprehension. I'm sure it'll take me a little bit for it to sink in. It's something that it's your worst nightmare. I mean, it's a Littleton, Colorado. It's the, when someone goes crazy on a college campus, you can't even fathom this. This is a peaceful, friendly environment. People come to trade. They're social with each other. He greeted the people on the way in. As a matter of fact, someone told me, he said when he was in, he said, he says, when he was doing this, he says, I hope I'm not ruining your trading day. I don't know if he was being funny or whatever he thought he was doing, but this is not what...
As he was shooting, he was saying that?
That's what he told me. I hope this won't upset your trading day. So, I mean, there was, in my opinion, there had to be something definitely wrong.
Again, point of clarification, he was a client. Could you again describe his relationship? How much money are we talking about?
I don't have that information yet. In the next day or so, we will be reviewing the accounts to try to, maybe figure out why. But, I mean, nothing that could have happened in that trading account could explain this type of behavior.
But he was a client, he didn't
He did not work for us. He was a client.
He wasn't just trading for himself. You said he had other investors that he traded for?
Once again, someone in my back office told me that he managed some money for some people. He had, he was in partnership with them. Like I say, I don't have the details, so I'd rather not say until I'm sure of what I'm saying.
The mayor of Atlanta has been reporting, I should say, that 9 people are dead, and there was also reports that this person was having financial difficulties, that financial hardship may have led him to the shooting.
I can't speculate as to what really transpired there. I don't know. I don't know him personally. I have not examined his accounts. Time will tell. I mean, but that'll be in the aftermath. The 9 people are dead, and unfortunately, they'll probably remain that way.
Sir, I'm sorry, we came in a minute late. Could you just tell us, go over again what you know as to what happened in there, what you've heard from people who were actually inside?
Franklin O'Kelly, who's our Chief Compliance Officer, and they'll be working. He had been implicated in earlier brutal murders and was obviously deranged when he opened fire in our offices and indiscriminately began killing and injuring our staff and customers. We understand that Mr. Barton was going through a difficult divorce, and this may have precipitated his rampage. But this explanation provides little comfort for the many victims of his rage.
I'll just very quickly, there's nothing new that all of us have not seen and heard. It's a terrible tragedy. All the names have not yet been released for sound purposes, investigation, notifying families. I believe the law enforcement officers conducted themselves in an exceptional manner. We've been in communication with the mayor's office to be of any assistance that we might be. But this is a period of significant mourning and grief for all of, I know the nation joins with us, but particularly the citizens of Atlanta and that great city and state. But there are no unique or specific details that any of us have come to know, really, that all of you aren't seeing on a regular basis. But thank you.
Is this a time for renewed efforts on the conference effort? With you through our public relations departments. I think that's the further update I have. I don't have any additional questions for my colleague, Dr. Osman, for Grady Emergency Medical Services, and get a chance to talk to him this morning. Right now, I think those that can communicate with us, we've been trying really to keep our sort of questions and concerns primarily on a medical level. Obviously, we have grief counselors and social workers that are available to communicate with them. We've had tremendous family support on behalf of many of these individuals, so that has certainly helped. And so I think all of them are doing at least as well as can probably be expected. I have not had the opportunity to interact with many of the families today. They, of course, have asked us to be very brief and keep things as relatively private, and we're going to try and protect their confidentiality as best we can. I know they're holding up as well as probably can be expected. Many of them did spend the entire night in the ICU waiting room, passed by a few of them and tried not to disturb them this morning. But they have certainly been lending their family members tremendous support, and we certainly wish them well. I'm sorry, I don't have...
Thus far, we have 9 confirmed fatalities. 4 are in the 3500 Piedmont building, 5 in the 3525 building, number 8. The person that's been identified as the perpetrator is Mark Barton, B-A-R-T-O-N. also are conducting a search of the immediate area. Anyone that sees or comes in contact with Mr. Barton should assume that he is armed and, of course, extremely dangerous. That's all the information that we have at this time. We have no idea where Mr. Barton is. We do not know whether he has fled the scene on foot or by car. Thus far, the Clayton County Police are cooperating and have
Can you see it okay? This is the newest photo that they were able to come up of Mr. Barton. Tell me where you think he is, what you think he might be driving while we're zoomed in on this.
Okay, we learned that he was driving a dark green Aerostar van, approximately 1992 model, Georgia tag 101, George Paul David. We know that he was here as early as or late as last night and left here sometime.
Apartment 1500 back here is where they have found 3 bodies. Mr. Barton apparently had 2 young children, according to neighbors who lived at his former residence in Morrow, a house that he rented. They said he had a daughter who was about 7 years